Hello again, Guardians. It's Cortanium, and we've got some exciting news this week. We have a Bungie bounty, some upcoming Crucible changes, SANDBOX ability tuning, and a fashion show of upcoming armor. Now you can follow through with me on all of these details and such. I have left a link in the description to the original Reddit post by Bungie. It's their week of September 5th Reddit post. But if you want to read in between the lines, or if you want to read all of it, you can read along with me there. Otherwise, I'm just going to be covering the highlights of this Reddit post. And so let's get to it. Bungie's latest bounty is for their strike team. They'll matchmake 2 of their own employees into their strike playlist while streaming, and that's going to be your chance to go in and be their third guy. You can go and queue up, and if you get queued with them and you do your part of the bargain, you get them to do the strike, they will actually give you a special emblem if you're really into emblems. And so make sure to check out their stream on September 5th. And moving on, we have actually had a community challenge going on. If you guys haven't noticed Bungie's Twitter or anything else, we're actually about 2/5 of the way through it. We've completed like the top 2 things, if you can see right up there, but we haven't done these bottom 3. And don't ask me what the images mean. I have no idea what they mean, but I'm pretty sure one of them means amount of nightfalls completed, another one means I think Mars protocols or something like that. Anyway, just go out there and do a bunch of stuff on Destiny, and I'm sure we'll get these community challenges completed. If you do a nightfall before actually September something, I'm not sure, whatever next Monday, whatever the next reset is, if you do a nightfall before then, you will get an exclusive emblem for competing in the community challenge. And so make sure to pull off a nightfall before next Monday if you want a special emblem. On the Crucible side of things, competitive and quick play are actually going completely away. Bungie is getting rid of both competitive and quick play. Quick play is going to be replaced by a classic mixed game mode consisting of Control, Supremacy, and Clash. Competitive will be replaced by a 3v3 survival, which is not, really trials yet, but it's getting there. I'll tell you, I'm sure they'll make that survival and elimination soon enough, and we'll actually get our good old Destiny 1 moments back. There's also going to be a solo-only version of 3v3 survival. There's going to be like 1v1v1v1 survival or something like that, and it's sure to be toxic when people realize, it wasn't the fire teams that were making the difference in competitive. It was, your own ability, and so I'm sure that's going to piss a lot of people off. There's also going to be rotating playlists that every single Crucible game mode. So that's intended for newbies. You're going to be cycling literally every single game mode from Control to Supremacy to every single game mode around. And I really want them to add in new game modes like Rift and stuff. That was my favorite game mode from Destiny 1. But they have well, at least in this post, they had no intention of doing that, but I really want them to do that. They also went through and made some maps only exclusive to certain playlists because they don't play out well on some game modes. If you can imagine, like, playing Control on like a really small map is like really useless. But I mean, I'm kind of against that as well. Yeah, I believe it's a unique experience to play Control on a really small map, on a really big map. I don't really care how it plays out. Each map plays different, and that's the fun part of it. Playing a really bad game mode on a really bad map is just fun to me. It's not actually like bad or anything. But I mean, that's Bungie's own call. As for heavy ammo crates, in some game mode they will be shared. That means for 5 seconds after a heavy ammo is picked up, any of your teammates can run over and pick up some heavy ammo as well, which is bound to be kind of, I guess, cool. I guess this would work by one player picking it up and only getting like 1 rocket shot, and his 2 other teammates run over and only get like 1 rocket shot, but you still have like 3 players with rocket shots. And imagine if all 3 of those guns are Wardcliff coils, you are destroying the enemy team. Alright, just absolutely destroying. All of them respawn another Wardcliff. All of them respawn another Wardcliff. It's just, this is a little bit overpowered, and I have no idea if they're going to nerf this. Maybe players will like it. I'm not sure you'll like it when you get 3 Wardcliffs on you, but I mean, let's see how it whirls out. And here's something you'll be really excited about. If you are Fabled or below Fabled, your glory rank can't sink past your current rank. You can't go from 1,200, let's say, to 0, but rather you go from like 1,200 to 1,000 and just stay there. No matter how many matches you lose from there, there's always like a bottom that you reach. And so every single time you rank up to a new rank, that new rank just basically becomes your bottom limit. You cannot sink past that rank. Except when you get to Fabled and you gotta go past Fabled, then you'll actually sink all the way back to Fabled. Which, I mean, that sounds actually really good for us trying to grind for the Recluse and the Revoker. As for other players, I don't know. It's not gonna roll out so well if you're actually a Crucible grinder trying to get past that, because all the sweaties are just gonna be playing harder than ever past the game modes, and there's going to be many more players than ever past that fabled rank now, since that's going to be a really easy thing to get. It's going to save us a lot of time and stress grinding for those Crucible pinnacles. On to overall gameplay and sandbox changes. Bungie is changing up 3 of our favorite supers. These supers include the Sentinel Shield, the Bubble, the Tether, and the Well of Radiance for Warlocks. And so a bunch of supers, our favorite supers, actually are getting changed up. Smoke bombs will not only make allies invisible, but they will give them brief shield, speed, and health regen, which is bound to be abused somehow. And that's going to make a lot of more strategic plays. If you can imagine a hunter shadow bombing his fire team and all of them peeking another team, they'll all get the first shot because, you know, they all are invisible, and they'll most likely win the gunfight, seeing how they all have more armor, speed, and regeneration. And so I'm sure this is going to be some overpowered tactic, especially coming into the fact that there's going to be 3v3 survival. And so this is going to be probably used more often than not. Tethers are also becoming one-shot and have more accuracy, so they'll catch more enemies, which is good for the hunter gang. I can't imagine how many times, like, the number of tethers I've shot just don't actually, like, hit the people. They just stick on the ground and sit there looking at me. I'm not sure why they won't even catch the enemies, but I mean, hopefully they're fixing that with this. Hopefully. But let's see how it rolls out. If you will melee a bad guy when you're a Sentinel Titan now, you will not only give yourself overshield, but all your allies around you will also get overshield. Now, in my personal opinion, this is way too overpowered, and I know it will have to be nerfed to the ground because the Titan smack plus shield was already too OP, but this is only going to make it worse. Imagine a Titan shoulder charges or smacks a player, and then his, you know, three members that just happen to be in the same area at the same time, everyone gets overshield for like 15 seconds, or I'm not sure how many seconds it is, but I mean, Titan overshield seems to last a long time, and so that's going to be super overpowered. And but it's going to be good if you're a Titan. I mean, you guys are going to be wrecking again. Also, you could heal nearby allies with the melee. I could see this being used as a strategy for Bass in the Leviathan. The whole fire team might be around, like, about to die in the middle of Bass. You know, everyone's run out of, like, the bath power. Everyone's dying to the poison water. And then the Titan just smacks the hell out of some adds, and everyone's healthy again because of that ability. So I could see that definitely happening. This could be probably very useful. Another thing that's good for Titans is that Weapons of Light is coming back to Bubbles, and so the Bubble boss strats might be back, and that would be awesome. If you guys could remember from D1 and Vaulted Glass, we used to pop into the bubble and pop back out and shoot at Atheon, and pop in and pop back out. We did the same thing with Crota, we did the same thing with Atheon. I believe we kind of did the same thing with Oryx. Like, this is a very overpowered strat, and the fact that Weapons of Light is coming back again is going to be awesome for Titans in our raids. So, like, we could probably use it on any boss. Bungie is actually finally nerfing the Flawless Execution perk on hunters. This perk gave hunters who crouched and killed with a headshot 9 seconds of invisibility and X-ray vision. This was incredibly OP for sneaking in behind enemies or even getting another kill while crouched and getting 9 more seconds of invisibility. And so people were complaining about this. I saw hunters abuse this against me, and so I wasn't really a fan of it either. And so Bungie's going to nerf this to the ground by making the invisibility and the X-ray vision only 3 seconds, which I think isn't actually enough of a nerf that nobody's going to use it over like a shadow bomb or anything else that's actually going to make you go invisible for longer. I think it was just the length of the invisibility that was really making this so overpowered. Bungie also goes on to remove auto-reloading from any Lunafaction well and any Titan Rally Barricade, because they don't want any other perks or exotics centered around a reload to become useless. If you guys know what perks or exotics I'm talking about, you know, it's just certain guns that have a faster reload, or certain, I believe, gauntlets actually that say reloading after a kill is going to give you this specific perk that actually can't be used because of the Lunafaction well. And so I'm not sure if Bungie is making the right decision there, because I always loved not reloading, you know, shooting the Callus skulls and just not having to reload every single time. But I mean, Bungie's kind of at fault here, because by doing this, they make Titan rallies kind of useless and also Lunafaction boots. But let's see how it plays out. They could just make the reloads extremely fast, and everyone could have their perks, and it could be happy. I just really was never on board with reloading in the first place. When you have something that gives you the ability not to reload, like, that's an exotic to me. That's what feels like an exotic. As we go on, super orbs are being changed across the board for their percentage of the super they charge. If you look at these numbers, like, I don't even know what these mean. I actually never even knew Bungie did this. I thought all super orbs just naturally gave the same amount of super energy, and so seeing these stats and these percentages and these numbers are just kind of strange to me. Basically, as you can see, everything gives different percentage of the super energy, and so that's kind of strange. I thought every super orb gave the same amount of super energy. I mean, they all look the same, why don't they all act the same? But apparently they don't. You see all these sources give different amount of energies. That's kind of interesting. What Bungie is doing here is they're actually lowering everything across the board for these percentages, and so they're trying to make you get your super even slower, which I'm not a big fan of. I know you guys know I glitch out of the map a lot, and I literally have to wait around like 4 minutes, like sitting outside of map for another blade barrage or push super to charge up so I can push myself past another barrier. And so no, I'm not a big fan of making supers, like, I don't wait a little bit longer. Not a big fan at all. But Bungie always supports this with reasoning that they want to make guns feel more OP, and perks on guns and mods actually overall feel better. And well, I'm not sure if I really support that, but I mean, that's just Bungie's B. As we go on, we have actually reduced super damage resistance, and basically what this means is Bungie is actually making all the armor, all the masterwork armor you work so hard for, so your super will just be unstoppable. Your golden gun, you cannot shoot it down because the overshield on it is just impossible to shoot down, or your hammers is just so OP because you have a full masterwork set of armor. Bungie is making that useless. Basically, they're turning down all the reduced super damage. They're taking the perk completely removed from masterwork armor, and they're tuning down all the perks that you originally had, or the overshield you had. And so if you're a Titan and you're pulling hammers, you're now going to be you can probably be double meleeed or something like that. If you're a hunter, I mean, hunters never really had much protection on their supers, but like for Wraith or Arcstrider, you guys will definitely try to be sniped maybe one shot in the forehead. You guys will be gone. It's be over with. And so Bungie says that they're trying to make supers more strategic by doing this, by making everything have less health in super form. Players are going to actually have to pick and choose when they want to pull their super, and very like strategic timing, and just not like whenever they want to, you know, I have my super up now, should I pull it just to get rid of it and so I can charge it for later in the match and have it again? No, you're going to have to look for a situation, or else you're going to be shut down with that super really easily, and it's going to fail against you. As we go on, you guys can see all these armor sets. These are super cool armor sets. I'm going to show them to you. This first set is the Dreambane armor set. This is coming out with Shadowkeep. All these armor sets are. And this one is actually acquired from activities on the moon. Now look at this. This is actually beautiful. I like all the little ornaments on it. It looks very detailed. Bungie's actually trying to improve on their armor sets, which I'm a fan of, because in Destiny 1, I had like all kinds of armor sets which would make me look a certain way. One would make me look like a dark magician, a PewDiePie reference, or one would make me look like, I don't know, some kind of creepy ghost. But all these armor sets in Destiny 2, I haven't really found any armor sets that I really like. I usually just use what gives me the most power. And so this is a big improvement that are giving us armor sets I actually like to look at. I'm going to show you guys the rest of these armor sets. The next one here is the Garden of Salvation raid armor set. This is for the Shadowkeep raid. You get this from the Shadowkeep raid, obviously. And look at this. This is just beautiful. This next one, Substitutional armor set. You get it from seasonal activities during Shadowkeep, from free season rank rewards and premium season rank rewards. And if you guys, I haven't really discussed season rank. It's the whole battle pass thing. I'll probably go over it in another video. But it's basically the Fortnite battle pass in Destiny 2. And so that's where you get this armor set from. The next one here is the Phenotype Plasticity Universal Armor Set. And you acquire it from premium season pass or season rank rewards. And so what that means is you buy the battle pass, or you buy the season pass for Destiny, and that's how you get this armor set. You get it from actually buying the season pass and rank it up. It's like the tier 100 skin for Fortnite, I assume. You got the Iron Will armor set here. They always look like variations of the same armor, to be honest. All the Iron Banner sets look like some kind of Japanese shojin kind of thing. This next one is Empyrean Cartographer Universal Ornament Set. You get it from the Eververse store. Bungie is expanding the Eververse store, and so the whole new set of armor from the Eververse. To be honest, the Eververse armor has actually always kind of looked good. Like, they always spend more time on Eververse armor than they seem to on any other armor set, but that's just my opinion. It looks great. And in addition to all this, the currently available armor sets will drop as Armor 2.0 versions when Shadowkeep launches. If you saw my last video, I was telling you guys what to save up, and so you guys could get those Armor 2.0 sets super easily because you save those items and you can use them or dismantle them into used things to actually get Armor 2.0 right away in year 2, or sorry, Shadowkeep. And so the last 2 items on our agenda are actually a 30% buff to Graviton Lance in player versus enemy. And so Bungie's actually following what the community has wanted for a while now. They're changing the damage in PvP, and they're changing the damage for a specific gun in PvE. And so this is going to actually be great for us because your guns do not perform the same way in PvP and PvE, which could give us like a really good gun in PvE, but that gun doesn't perform so great in PvP, which actually gives us like a lot of metas. Like, we could have a sleeper simulant working really well in PvP and PvE, but since they nerfed the out of gambit in PvP, it doesn't do so well, and we could only use it for PvP. It makes this a lot of variation is what I'm trying to say, and so that would be very cool for us to have. But if you guys prefer using the Graviton Lance in player versus enemy environments, we'll go after Shadowkeep launches. You guys are going to have 30% more damage with it. That'll probably be very cool. And the last one, but certainly not the least one, is Sunshot is getting, instead of 7 shots in the mag, 12. And I'm a big fan of Sunshot because it's one of the coolest hand cannons there are. And 12 shots in the mag doesn't sound so bad. It's like the Midnight Coup, and I use the Midnight Coup, and so does everyone with a smart mind or better devils, because of how much ammo those guns have. They respectively have like 10 and 12 shots in the mag. People don't really use hand cannons for, you know, how, I don't know what the reload looks like or how aesthetic it is. We use it for how many shots it has in the mag, at least in my opinion. And so this is a really good nerf from Bungie, or not nerf but buff, and I hope that should be the end of it. Actually, we've gone through all of the stuff. I hope you can see you guys in the next video. We're going to be probably going over some more Bungie updates. They seem to have a lot of stuff in store for Shadowkeep, and so I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Thanks for watching.